Alrighty, hello, welcome to another YouTube video. This week's video is going to be about negative energy, empathy, and transmutation. So how I turn negative energy into positive energy in my life as an empath, or someone who feels very deeply or picks up on the emotions of other people, other animals, nature, the news, whatever it might be, and how I protect myself from negative energy. Now, I've not always been very good at this. Growing up, it was very difficult for me considering how sensitive I was and how open I was to things and how much they would affect me. It is very difficult, and I find that most people who are like this, it is very easy to descend into mental illness or to develop some sort of anxiety disorder, or whether it is depression, addiction, anything mentally that allows us to cope with these intense feelings are things that can be developed. And I want to help you guys and explain to you guys the steps that I take to convert negative energy into positive energy to protect myself. Anyways, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So to all my sensitive people, this one is for you guys. So firstly, I want to discuss what an empath is exactly. An empath is someone who feels things or absorbs the energy of their environment. So whether it is through touch, so feeling physical, through hearing, auditory, through seeing, vision, whatever it may be, through, I think I already said the news. The news, strangers, family and friends, animals, nature, whatever it may be, you absorb the energy. And a lot of the times it can be negative, because we tend to be like mediators or a balancer of energy. So it's like, anyway, so it can be very intense. And a lot of people don't often, especially young people, who don't know how to deal with the intent. It's like you don't know how to navigate your own emotions, and then it's like other people's emotions on top of that that you feel you are responsible for. And you are not responsible for other people's emotions. This is very important. You are not responsible for fixing the issues of other people. You cannot make other people happy. At the end of the day, we all are responsible for our own happiness, and I feel like empaths especially need to hear this. I think that we tend to be the ones who want to save or help or fix, and you cannot always do that. You do what you can, but it's like, it's that analogy where it's like glass half full versus glass half empty. If you are not doing well, you do not have the capacity to help someone else, usually, especially emotionally or mentally. So it's about putting certain boundaries in place where you can navigate your feelings as well as navigate other people's feelings. I had a lot of difficulty with this growing up. I had no idea how to put up boundaries, and I dealt with a lot of people who had a lot of issues, and I always felt like it was my responsibility to help them or fix them or help them come to terms with their own issues or own problems. But people will only change if they want to, or seek help if they want to, or, you know, as I said, we're all responsible for ourselves. That does not mean that you shouldn't help other people. I think there just needs to be a balance. Balance is super important. We tend to see and hear a lot of negative things in the news because those are the things that make the most money or grab the most attention. You rarely see positive news. If anything, I feel like I have to search and scour the internet for positive things, like what people are doing to help the environment, or what community events are happening that are uplifting for people who live in my community. Or, you know, I feel like I have to actively seek out the positive, which is not great, because I find that, especially with the rise of social media and the internet and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, it's just a surge of negative things. Like, something happened to someone, this happened, there was an explosion, a war, a this, a that. It's just like constant bombardment of negative energy, and we need to protect ourselves so our energies are not getting sucked out of us and fueling said negative events. So I'm going to go through the step-by-step things of what I do to counter these negative energies and negative thoughts or things. Jealousy, envy, greed, lust, all these things, I'm going to teach you how to counter them. It's kind of like alchemy or like transmutation, which is what I want to talk about today. So very cool. So I recently actually sought out help, as I needed help spiritually, and I just never had anyone teach me the tools on how to navigate these emotions and how to work with my energy. Now, everything is about intention. Everything is about intention. That's what makes things work. That's where the magic is. So it's not necessarily like a certain gem or amulet or certain color or certain anything that has these properties. It's the intention that you put behind an amulet, a word, a prayer, whatever it might be, that creates the outcome. So usually at the end of the day, I will come home and I will just take a second before bed and I will do this. Like, I'm removing any negative energy that I have absorbed or has been put onto me throughout the day that is not mine, that does not serve me, and I will remove it and I will release it and I will give it to the universe. I'll say, and I will speak it out loud. I remove any negative energy that I have absorbed today, or any negative energy that has affected me, any energy that does not benefit me, and I release it to the universe so that it may be converted into good energy and come back to me as positive energy. So that's what you want to do. Intentionally remove any energy that you feel does not serve you from yourself. Hold on, I need to sneeze. And once you're done doing that, you're going to imagine a bubble, like a cocoon of white energy. I like to imagine like really positive, loving energy as gold. So that's what I do. But you can imagine it as white or gold, and you just imagine this cocoon of white energy surrounding you, and this energy protects you. You say, I surround myself in a cocoon of energy that is positive, abundant, loving, successful, happy, and this energy protects me, and it gets stronger every day. And you say that, every night. Honestly, that's the best you can do. And this has helped me immensely. I feel like there have been times when I have had certain attachments or energy from other people or things that I have read or seen that have really affected me, and so I will do it at the end of the day, and then I will meditate and I will feel so much better. You need to recalibrate yourself at the end of the day. You can do anything, honestly. That's just what I do, but there's certain people who speak into the water that they drink. I know that there was a study that was done where people spoke to water and it created patterns, or when they speak to plants very positively, they grow better, things like that. So you can do it with anything, with your crystals, with your water, with your morning routine, with the water that you bathe in, with the food that you eat. Just like intention is everything, and that's where the transmutation comes from. You can even think of it as like, if other people are speaking negatively of you, or you know that there's certain judgment that are being placed onto you, can say, all the energy that they are using to talk about me, to judge me, to think about me, all that energy comes back to me as positive, fruitful, abundant energy. And that is where the transmutation happens. You can completely alter the scenario. You can totally do it. And it's very interesting how these little things that you do with intention in your life show up as more positive experiences. Like, let's say you ask for something, and after showing gratitude, so being grateful for, this is like a side topic, but I feel like when you show gratitude, that in itself is a very high frequency emotion. So when you're very grateful and then you ask the universe for whatever it is that you want, you will receive it. But you will never realize that you have received it unless you're paying attention. It shows up in like little ways, and then you'll get to a point in the future where you're like, wait a minute, I asked for this. And so yeah, that's just how transmutation works in my life. I think it is very cool the way intention works, and if you put out a positive, loving energy, I think that you can change your life quite literally, and change the way energies outside of you affect you. So, and as an empath, I think it's really important to put up certain boundaries so that things don't affect you and your life so negatively. So yeah, that is what I wanted to talk about today. I hope this helped you. I hope you can use it in your life moving forward. I think it is very useful. And if you do use it, I want you to pay attention to the little things that happen in your life that are direct, like a direct response to these changes that you've been making. Is very cool. It's very, 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 very cool. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.